Good evening, everyone. T-Speaker 222 XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XM and Future Digibyte OG. So I know I haven't been around for like the last 4 or 5 hours. I had a couple classes tonight, and then I also, before that, it took me about 3 hours, but I put on a gate in my driveway. As you guys know, I was blocking it with like my car up to the left side of my house because I just moved in here in February, and there was 2 4x4 posts out here on each side, about 8 or 9 feet apart, because I have a pretty big driveway. It probably fits fucking 20 fucking cars in here, no joke. And so me and Julie's stepdad, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. He buys both sides of the gate. Nothing fancy, just, average chain link gate. 2 sides, not connected. So we got the parts and everything, and the guy in the, they didn't know how to help us in the hardware store. They're fucking morons. So we just grabbed the parts we thought, and I don't even know if we did this right, but it works. It looks good, and we did it. And I've never put a gate together. I've never put one up, and it took us about 2.5 hours. We're proud of ourselves. I know I am. So now I got a gate. See, I'm all happy about it. And yeah, so now we just got to put the privacy parts in the middle of it, because he bought some stuff that you have to put one piece at a time in the middle of it. It's a fucking... But anyhow, so I'm proud of myself tonight. So we got our class done. It's been a busy day, so there was no point in me fudding it up with crypto videos. I know Bitcoin jumped to 40,000, like 500 or 400 at one point. You guys were probably shitting your pants. But the point is I didn't need to fud it up. It did exactly what I said earlier, and it looks like we're doing the topping reversal pattern. So that's just what it looks like. It looks like there's a left shoulder. It looks like there's a head. I drew this out before this ever happened. It didn't quite make it to the top of the head, as you can see, but it came close enough because I had it at almost 42,000, but it almost got there. So there's no point for me to think that this isn't doing exactly what we said. I don't see any reason to think other than we're starting a descending pattern. Everything looks like it's creating that rounded top. Now we're coming down to the right shoulder on Doge. XRP looks like the same thing. We created the rounding top. Looks like we just created the right shoulder in the hour, and there's no reason for me to believe anything different. Looks like we're getting rejected by all the resistance levels that we're at. This is no surprise. We already talked about this. My lines are time tested. Lewis, how do we know where we're going? Lewis, if I can't bounce between the lines, Lewis, do you hear me, Bob? Well, I said you could go between the lines. Well, Tom, yes, Bob. Well, is it true that you have a praying mantis named Bob? Oh, well, it's funny you should bring that up, Bob. Yes, guys, it's true. I have a praying mantis in my house now. Because we bought a praying mantis egg when we went to the flower show weeks and weeks ago on Mother's Day, as I told you guys about. And the egg hatched, and we got a bunch of praying mantises. So they put them outside, and I took one of them, or 2 of them, but one of them is no longer, I can't find it, so it's somewhere. It might have went back outside. But one of them that I named Bob, I put it in my kitchen on the ceiling, or in the window, and now it patrols the kitchen. It's awesome. It's a baby, and it goes back and forth on the top of the ceiling, and I call him Bob. And people say they're like pets, and I'm like, Bob, well, Tom, you have me as I'm a praying mantis? Well, yeah, Bob, you're cool that way. You're protecting my house. Well, that's kind of offensive, Tom. Why is that offensive, Bob? Well, I'm not a praying mantis. You're right, Bob. You can never cut, and this thing kills the predators in my house. Kills these damn flies or ants that walk in from outside, because I have all these trees by my house, so you know how it is with bugs. Especially when it's humid. So, Bob, you're doing a good job. Well, that's good to know, Tom. Well, yeah, Bob. So anyhow, guys, let's get back to this. But it's awesome. I have a praying mantis living in my house, and we call him Bob. So, guys, the only thing that still concerns me with this pattern, and it doesn't really, but it does, and it tells me that for some reason that the only thing that always gets me is we're coming off this W, and then when we go sideways, if we could just find some kind of volume, we could shoot up to this next resistance level. If, with XLM, they're all on this W and they're sideways. Are they going to go sideways and up? Or is it something bigger? Because to me, when you do pattern recognition, I've been sitting here all day. Son of a bitch. This is either... See, this is where it's like I don't even want to be in. Because, yes, I acknowledge what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a potential of a sideways and then an up to touch that 6-6 resistance. But I'm not putting in. But I'm saying I see the sideways on the W. I see the sideways consolidation. But this is going to crash hard when it does. And is it worth taking that chance that this is going to go sideways and up off of this? Because Bitcoin's in a different part of this fucking pattern. It's just not the same way. And they're all running off of Bitcoin, so... And like even these ones that were making you money earlier, you're going to have to be very, very careful. They all started off very, very poorly. Solano, I want to get in really bad, but we need to wait until it crashes. Because I'm not going to have a ton of Solano. I acknowledge that. But if I could get like $10 Solano, and I could get like 100 of them for $1,000, I'd be really happy. But it's never going to go that low. It might, you never know. But all these look like they're fucked. They really do. A little bit of sideways and up. I really feel like they're creating a head formation. It could be, I could be wrong, and they could have this next level. Like I said, there's a W in the pattern, and it's going sideways. Sometimes in the W, it goes sideways and up. But sometimes when the pattern's done, it starts off sideways, and you think it's going to go up, and it just collapses. Everybody in my class, remember the W sideways? And we showed two ways it could go, and on the one it went up and continued to level before crashing. And then the next one, it looked like it was going to go sideways and up, and it went sideways and down. So my class, I tell you, you understand why I pick these formations? Why I do things specifically in my class for the ones who are in there. So, but this has the potential, if it really wanted to go sideways and up, and that's a big fucking W. So that sideways and up would be probably to that 13.5 cents for VeChain. That's what I'm saying. If it does, it's not worth it to me. But I think it has a huge potential. And if that's the case, that would mean that Bitcoin, this is nothing more than a shoulder. You know, this was like the hip. This would be the hip. This would be the shoulder. And then we could actually come up to what I was talking about. And then you could create the head. And then you come down. Or you could be creating this, something like that, like we were saying. Or it's just going to be what we said. But those are the two scenarios that can play out. And that's why I keep saying, it's not worth it to me, but it might be worth it to you to take that gamble. I'm not doing it. Because it could just as easily roll over on itself. But that is a potential of having a gamble. But again, do you think it's going to go sideways and up and make one more push to 98 cents? I personally think it can, but I think if it's going to, it'll probably... I think it's a 50-50 chance that it can make one more bounce to 98 cents and finish this sideways and up. I showed you a couple possibilities, and those are the best case scenarios I could give people that were trying to make money, and they were even in it. They said, Tom, what's your best case scenario? There's your best case scenario that I drew out for you earlier. That has a 5% chance of playing out, that scenario. This smaller scenario has a 50% chance playing out. And the other 40%, or like 35% chance of playing out, but 50% chance playing out that we've built the right shoulder and we're going to collapse. There's always that chance, though, that we still need to go up, and this was just a left shoulder here, and we would just come up like I said. And then you'd come off of here, and you'd come up and get rejected, and then it's over. Either way, it's over. It's just a matter of can you make a swing trade. But the longer this goes on, the less chance it's looking like you're making a swing trade. But there's a chance you can make a double top. There's a chance you can do all this other stuff. But it's a huge risk. So T-Speak at 222 XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XLM and Future Digibyte OG. There's a few videos I put out today, and I'm a little disappointed that my audience barely watched them. Put up a lot of time for that gold, silver, the pullback, and I showed you a lot of valuable information, 256 views. So my overnight radio show only got 224 views, and that was probably the best, one of the top 3 videos I've ever put out. So, you know, I know there's only been like, what, 3-4 videos put out today. But there was no reason to FUD it up. So, you know, I would encourage you guys to watch the overnight radio show. Tonight, I'm going to have a very, very good show. I'm going to be covering the new foreign, some of my new ones. Becoming some of our stocks off the foreign exchanges for when we have the global the collapse in the USA, the U.S. stock market. I'm going to show you how to diversify in foreign exchange markets, some foreign stocks. You can still buy them on Charles Schwab. I can even buy them on Cash App, so they're available. And I'm going to show you guys me actively doing this. Some of them pay upwards of 5.8% dividends, and it'll help keep you with another form of income when we have this global collapse, and obviously it'll keep you out of the U.S. exchange. So stay true, stay blessed, and if you want to join Tom's Army, links in the description. I highly encourage it. If you want to send a donation, I always appreciate those. Shows a little extra thank you, and it helps keep me extra motivated. So stay tuned, stay blessed.